Everyone, welcome back to She Leads Too. I'm Vishakha, and today's episode is all about starting early, building boldly, and creating your own opportunities. In this Ivy League series, I'm not just talking to students from top universities, I'm speaking with young women who are actively building things, creating impact, and shaping their journeys even before stepping fully into college. Today's guest is a perfect example for that. We are joined by Ruzanna, an incoming computer science student at Princeton University, a Bank of America student leader, and someone who has led hackathons, built impactful tech projects, and even presented on global platforms like CES. Ruzanna, I'm so excited to have you here. Welcome to She Leads Too.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me today. I'm really looking forward to our conversation today.
Yeah, before we get into everything you've done, I just wanted to start with something simple. Who are
Mhm.
you 2, 3 years ago? And what do you think that version of you would say if you saw yourself today?
Yeah, so about 3 years ago, I was a freshman in high school and I was in more of an exploration phase in my life. I had like 100 different interests like art, politics, technology, or and a bunch of hobbies like music and everything. And I spent my time just doing a lot of different things and getting a taste of everything to see what I want to pursue in the future. And I think um, the version of me from 3 years ago would really thank me for taking the time to explore because now, as I'm older, I have a better idea what I want to pursue in my future long term.
Yeah, that's amazing because in college people tend to get confused so much about subjects and what they want to pursue in future. So yeah, and also there's a myth that you need to have everything figured out before college, and that's so not true. Like it's just like an exploration phase. Like you just keep
Mhm.
exploring.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Also, I'm curious, have you always been this driven, or was there a moment where something shifted for you?
So I feel like a lot of things shifted for me for past 2 or 3 years because I
Mm-hmm.
moved to high school and I started talking to more diverse group of people with all kinds of different interests and seeing how motivated and driven those people are really made me think more about myself and be more motivated to pursue my interests. So I think changing an environment really made me more driven over the past couple of years.
I know. Also, many, many congratulations for getting into Princeton. It's
Oh,
such
thank
a
you.
big deal.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Um, yeah, what made you choose Princeton though? Like, was there a defining moment for you that I want to join Princeton or like what?
hmm Yeah, so there are so many things great about Princeton, but I think that one thing really stood out to me is the diversity that it has. So it has hundreds of different student organizations about like any topic that you can think about, even like from like chess to cheese or cultural clubs and everything. And Princeton student body is also really diverse because there is a lot of international students from every single country in the world, a lot of different languages spoken, a lot of different areas explored. And as someone who really likes to try new things, I thought that Princeton would really be a perfect place for me to spend 4 years of my life in.
Yes, true. When are you joining though?
Hmm?
When are you joining college?
Yeah, so I'll probably join in like mid August, like August 15th ish. I think that's when everyone moves in.
Yeah, July and or August, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Also, the transition period from high school to university, it can be a mix of a lot of emotions. How has it felt for you so far?
Yeah, so it's honestly been a bit complicated because I know I'm going to graduate within next month. So I like to take my time and reflect more this couple of months and really think about and be thankful for all of the great moments I had to experience in high school. But in addition to like dealing with all of that nostalgia, I like to sit down and do my research and figure out what I want to do for next 4 years and how I can make the most out of it.
Also, you've been deeply involved in tech from such a young age. What
Mhm.
initially sparked your interest in computer science in general?
Yeah, so since I was very young, I was interested in building stuff, creating new things, or just even watching on TV other people do it. And the thing was that I'm not coming from a very wealthy family, so expensive hardware was often pretty unaffordable to us. But what was affordable was like a computer which could run on internet. And a computer provides you like an accessible environment to build new things, whether it's like websites, games, or simple like artistic designs. I would say that like computer engineering was the most accessible form of building to me, and that really made me to start digging deeper into the resources that are available to me. And that's ultimately how I decided to like pursue computer science as my major too.
Mhm. When you start a project, or whether it's like a hackathon or something like Youth Unite that you did,
Mm-hmm.
what does the thinking process looks like behind the scenes?
Yeah, so for long-term projects, such as like running a hackathon or founding a nonprofit, I would say the thinking process usually starts at the mission. So you have to think about what you're really passionate about, what issues you really care about, why you care about those issues, and what steps you can take to address all of that stuff. And after your mission is finalized, you kind of start taking small steps towards like pursuing your goal in like addressing the issues of your passion. So, for example, with Youth Unite, as a young person, I'm really passionate about being involved in different social and civic initiatives. But it, like growing up, it was pretty hard for me to find opportunities like that to be involved. So, my mission was to make opportunities for young people to get involved in civic work more easily. And from there, I thought like, oh, what could help young students to be more involved? And my answer was a social and accessible platform for students to promote and engage with events. And yeah, from there, I gathered a couple of friends. We built like a little software development group. And from there, we started making our website step by step and then growing our network, our funds, and everything else to try to make like as much impact as possible.
Can you tell us more about your website and initiatives?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so as I already mentioned, the mission of YouthUnite is to make civic involvement more accessible for young people. And our website is called youthunite.online. And in there, if you're a student organizing an event, you can submit a proposal. And once this proposal is submitted, it gets reviewed by a board of people who run the website. And after it's approved, the visitors of our website, which are also probably young people, are gonna see that that your event is getting promoted, and they can sign up for it and participate. And we also try to provide like learning resources such as free courses on our website for students to learn more about what civic engagement is and what measurable steps they can take to increase their like efficacy in all of this.
I go through a website. This sounds very interesting to me.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, also I think a lot of people wait for like a perfect time to start something and they just keep procrastinating. But you did. How did you begin without waiting, like without procrastinating?
Yeah, so of course I procrastinate a lot in my life. But one thing that makes it better is the fact that it's never too early to start something. And if you start
Yeah.
something and then you lose motivation for it, you can always come back to it later when you're like fully rested and recharged and
Mm.
are like capable of doing it. So I usually deal with procrastination through keeping a small to-do list where I highlight the things I have to do based on like priority, like from most important to least. And from there, I just go and do it pretty much.
Um, for someone who's listening to you right now, who has new ideas, but they might feel stuck somewhere in their life, what would
Mhm.
you tell them to do?
Yeah, so I think having priorities in life is really important. So I would really encourage the individual to reflect on their life and see what matters to them. What is the opportunity cost of doing such and such things? And based on what they really care about, just pursue whatever feels more important to them.
Yeah. Also, you've had experiences like presenting at CES and I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but yeah, CES,
Mhm.
and being in spaces with leaders, which is incredible, honestly.
Thank
How
you.
did opportunities like that come your way, or you found them, or like what was behind the scene behind it?
Mhm. Yeah, so the game is that you go to one event, you meet more people, and those people put you on
Mm.
like even more events, conferences, and opportunities. So everything started for me
Yeah.
about 2 years ago, where I attended a hackathon, and I decided, oh, I'm just gonna make the most out of it. So I really put myself out there to talk to every single person in the room and just be curious about what they do, what they like to participate in. And from there, whatever I found interesting, I tried to go deeper into it and asked if I can be involved. And from there, I went to the next event and then talked to more people. And eventually, it got to me going to a hackathon in San Jose and meeting employees from AMD. And after I talked to them about the things they do, after I presented my project to them, I was invited to CES, which is probably like the coolest place I've been to. And I would say that all of that came to being social and networking with people at the events that I'm at.
I guess networking is the key then.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, yeah,
But
and
also, like, searching events too can also takes a lot of time.
yeah, oh yeah, it can be hectic too, right? Like with school and with a lot of projects and everything. So I
Hmm.
guess it can be a bit hectic too. Um, are you an introvert person or like an extrovert person? Like going around and talking to people like that, it isn't an easy task, right? Because you're not familiar with everyone and everyone's just a stranger to you. So,
Hmm.
like, are you a person, like, who's very comfortable talking to strangers or?
So I would say that I'm more of an introvert than an extroverted person, but I
Mm-hmm.
like spending time with people. It's just my social battery might run out at some point. And I feel like what makes me more willing to talk to people is that I am like really sincerely curious about what other people are passionate about, what they're
Mm-hmm.
doing, and how can I be like a better friend or a better acquaintance or a better and more interesting stranger for them to meet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, um, moment where you are, like on the stage doing, like when you grab some opportunity, like what
Hmm.
is something that you feel internally? Like what's the feeling internally?
Yeah, so I can't lie, I sometimes get like nervous on stage, but um, yeah, I would say it's just like internally it's a mixture of feeling nervous and excited at the same time. But even when I'm nervous, I really enjoy what I'm doing, so it's not like a problem or anything.
Yeah. Um, what does advocating for, student voices mean to you personally?
Yeah, for me personally, advocating for student voices means trying to like uplift the voices of the people who. That's actually a good question. I might need to think about it a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
But like briefly, it's kind of like helping the people who have like good missions in their minds to speak up and trying to push their good work forward, if it makes sense.
Mm, yeah, to some extent it does. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just saw that you were also a Bank of America student leader. How did that like come about, and what did it teach you like throughout
Mm-hmm.
it? Before?
Yeah, so the Bank of America Student Leaders Program was an internship for high school students to get more involved within the nonprofits in their community. And as a part of the Bank of America Student Leaders Program, I got the chance to intern at the Greater Cleveland Food Bank, which is a
Mm-hmm.
nonprofit that provides food to low-income families who need it. And through that internship, I really got to learn more about the inequalities that exist within my community or in communities nationwide in America, and what factors affect it. For example, businesses can affect it, the government regulations can affect it, and it even like individuals through their daily habits can also impact someone's life without even realizing it. And
Mm-hmm.
um, after in the food bank, I worked on trying to improve the internal processes of the nonprofit so they are able to deliver more food to people. It was through volunteering at the pantry or through building a website for their continuous improvement department so that the workflows within the organization be more like efficient. And in addition to that, me and my colleagues also got to travel to Washington, D.C. to talk to policymakers within our state about the issues that our communities face when it comes to food or healthcare. So I would say it was a really life-changing opportunity for me, and I would recommend anyone doing it if they are, yeah, no matter who you are, you can definitely learn a lot from the program.
Also, this sounds so interesting. Getting to do so many things, but yeah, it's so great. Also, come talking about leadership, leadership can look very different for everyone. Like everyone has their own definitions for leadership.
Mm-hmm.
For you, how do you incorporate empathy into the way that you lead?
That's actually a really good question.
Hmm.
Mhm. So I would say that being a leader also means that you are working in a team, and incorporating empathy into your leadership means being able to put yourself in the shoes of the people that you're working with or in the shoes of the people that you are leading to benefit, and really, yeah, like understand their situation in order to be able to
Hmm.
guide them. And that often comes with, of course, sacrificing your own comforts.
Yeah. And for young girls who are listening to you right now through a podcast, how can they start creating impact right now, even as students in high school?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that students in high school can definitely create a lot of impact. And one way to do it is to think about what your what your goal is in life when it comes to benefiting your community. And based on that, try to like divide your path into measurable steps and then just go and take the path. It's never too early to start something. It's never too late to do something about the things that you care about. And one thing that really helps is finding a community with a similar passion, with a similar drive to take action and step up for the things that you care about.
Yeah, 100% true. Also, since you said that you're joining mid-August, how excited are you for Colombia and like what's going internally inside you?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it too.
So what are the preps that you're like doing before going to the college, or like you're just focusing on your school right now, like, just to get done with it?
Yeah, honestly, there is quite a little bit of things that are going on. Of course, the school state exams are coming up and everything. But also with that, I try to spend like as much time as possible with my family, friends, and other
Yeah.
loved ones, my church, and just like hobbies I like to do. that I might not get the chance to do when I'm like a busier person in college.
Mm-hmm. Have you visited Colombia in person?
Not yet, but I'm actually visiting in like 2 weeks. So that's pretty exciting.
Ah, oh yeah, it's very exciting. What's
Mhm.
the most attractive thing about the university so far for you? Like you must have searched about the university and everything. So, like, what are the three most attractive things you found about the university?
Mhm. Yeah, so three most attractive things. Probably, of course, for me, number one is the group of people that are in there. Because in order to get into Princeton, you need to show passion for learning, passion for making good impact, and passion for going one step beyond the expectations. And I'm really excited to be within a circle of people who are like driven like that. Um, the second, um, I have to say the opportunities, because Princeton has connections with a lot of different firms and like institutions. It has a lot of ties with government organizations, ties with like banks and um, like companies in different fields. Let's say like healthcare, computer science, and all of that. And the third thing that I find attractive, I'll have to go with the aesthetics, because Princeton is like really pretty. It gives Hogwarts vibes, and as a person who grew up watching Harry Potter,
The
it's like,
architecture is so pretty, so damn pretty. Like I was
mm-hmm,
just going through the
yeah,
website of Columbia University. It's just breathtaking, so good.
mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What about life there? Like, are you a social person?
Um, kind of, moderately.
Yeah,
Yeah,
are
it probably
you
depends on my
also
mood. I can be like both introverted and extroverted.
depends on a social battery.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Also, like you have managed everything, like academics, projects, leadership roles, this opportunity, that opportunity, and everything all at once. How did
Hmm.
you balance everything during high school?
To say that everything was balanced probably wouldn't be like the truest thing ever, because a lot of things were going on in my life. Junior year was like a complete mess because I had like 10 different projects going on and five different organizations that I was kind of like affiliated with. And yeah, I just kind of like did whatever I had time for. And I'm not a perfectionist, which I think really helped me, is that I did a little bit of everything. And whatever I didn't do, I tried to make up for it whenever I had time.
Mhm.
So I did a
Um,
lot of things, but nothing was like perfect or flawless. But yeah, I'm glad I was able to at least contribute.
Yeah, also I guess it's not about the perfection or like not able to manage everything, but it's also about grabbing the opportunity. Like in high school, we have like a pool of opportunities around us, but then people just get so overwhelmed that they just don't take it up. They are very confused if they should take it up or not, even if they're interested. Have you ever felt overwhelmed about something? And if yes, like how did you deal with that personally?
So I do occasionally feel overwhelmed, especially when there is a lot of different things going on in my life. And whenever I'm
Hmm.
overwhelmed, I just like to take a step back and think really about what's going on. And maybe I'll take like a day off to have rest and do things that like bring me peace and calmness. And after that, I really think about my priorities and the things that I should focus on firsthand. And if there are things that I need to let go, it's okay to do that sometimes too. But eventually, I just think about opportunity cost, and with that, after I make my choices, everything eventually figures itself out.
Yeah, but kudos to you. Like it takes like a lot of like strength to take up so many opportunities and just making up your mind that, yeah, I'll just manage it all. Because even I'm a person like that. I tend to, I'm very bad at saying no. So saying no to an opportunity is just very difficult for me. So I just take up a lot of things and then it, like
Mm-hmm.
irritates the shit out of me. It's like, oh, I have to do so many things. So it gets stressful too. But
Yeah.
yeah, like kudos to you, you've been managing it all. So it's great. And
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's gonna help you in college a lot because in college you have just so many opportunities. You get
Mm-hmm.
overwhelmed all the time. So you'll have a edge there.
Yeah, my rule of thumb is that it's better to like overestimate my abilities than to underestimate it, because if I fail to do something, then it's not a
Yeah,
big deal.
that's
I'll
so true.
eventually get over it.
And that's so true. Even I agree with it. Like, are you
Mhm.
like, what would you prefer, being undervalued or like overvalued?
Um, Probably overvalued, because I eventually can grow personally and reach that level. But if I'm undervalued, then I might not get the same opportunities as someone who is being perceived as more like valuable or skilled. But
Yeah,
yeah, fake it till you make
true.
it. It is a good thing to pursue.
Yeah. What does discipline look like for you on a daily basis?
um, that's a good question. So for me,
Like,
disciplined.
you just
mm,
seem like a very disciplined person.
Yeah, I usually keep a to-do list where I outline all of the things that I have to do, and I try to stick to it as much as possible. But also, I feel like another thing that really helps me build discipline is good daily habits. For example, I try to go on a run at least 3 times a week and really try to be consistent with that, or like eat healthy food consistently. And by doing that all the time and staying on top of it really builds up the discipline and willing to do something for like a longer period of time in your life.
Um, I agree with it. Okay. It's just a little getting a little serious, so let's just switch up a
Mhm.
bit.
Okay.
We just have a very, like this or that. Like you just have to go with the first instinct and just, like shoot one. Okay. So,
Mm-hmm.
first one is just a word to describe your journey so far. How would you describe your journey?
Um, I would probably go with saying that my journey was unexpected, because I really
Mm-hmm.
came from designing stuff on my computer to speaking at conferences or even participating in like such amazing podcasts as this one.
Yeah. We're glad to have you.
Mm.
Um, what do you prefer, like coffee or tea?
Tea.
Ah, or matcha.
I
Matcha,
actually
I
have like a
forgot
cup
to.
of tea on me right now. It's like berries and herbs. Coffee's like sometimes too much caffeine.
Yeah, and it's just so difficult to sleep after having, like caffeine in your
Mhm.
body.
Yeah, for
Hmm.
sure.
Um, Coding at night or morning? Like when you prefer coding?
I would say in the morning, because my brain is like well rested and fresh. I'm actually like an early
Hmm.
bird. I go to bed really early and I woke up like at 4 a.m. and stuff to work on my project.
Yeah, it's like all the big people, everyone's like, yeah, we wake up at 4 a.m. That's what you should do. And it's so damn difficult to get early each and every single morning. But I'm a very different person, honestly. I wake up early, I sleep late, and then I just sleep, I just take a
Mhm.
nap and, like noon or something.
Yeah, that's a strategy
Yeah,
too.
like I'm a morning person and a late night person too, so I'm like just available both of the time.
Hmm.
Um, are you a person who would rather build a startup or join one?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Mm-hmm. You can
If I
think
can
about
come
it,
up
no
with
worries.
a good idea, then probably make my own startup, because to be fair, like I like to lead, and I would like to see my own idea get promoted and reaching more people out there.
Yeah. Would you choose stability or risk?
I would definitely go with risk. Because stability can like
Yeah.
a lot of times get boring, but with risk you always have the chance to get something new, maybe worse, maybe better, but it's definitely not gonna be like same every time.
Yeah, it's true. And then life just gets so constant, like there's just no motivation to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. If your life right now was a movie, like what would it be called?
That's a good question. I was actually thinking about it recently.
So
Uh,
what did you come up with?
Wait, give me a minute. I'm trying to remember it.
No worries.
I honestly don't know, but definitely something related to adventure or exploring new things.
Oh, like you like exploring new stuff, going on
Mm-hmm.
adventures?
Probably something like, okay, life when you're open-minded.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you could say just one sentence to your 14-year-old self, like what would that be?
I would probably go with like trust the process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One unpopular opinion you have about success or productivity?
Mhm. Unpopular opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like I know I already mentioned this is, but it would be like overestimating yourself is definitely better than underestimating yourself.
Yeah, true, because yeah, you just lack motivation if you just underestimate yourself. So it's
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
100% better to rather overestimate yourself.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Um, Looking ahead, in future, like what do you want to achieve through your studies in computer science and political science?
Yes, so since I was really young, I was really passionate about contributing to innovations. And my ultimate goal is
Mm-hmm.
probably to contribute to world changing innovation in the public good sector, especially as I notice how sometimes the technology that our current systems operate on can be improved into more inclusive and sustainable versions.
Mm-hmm. Got it. What are like your majors and minors? Like, have you decided it yet, or like you're yet to decide it in school, college? Like, what's the
About
process
major?
like? Yeah.
Yeah, so I think in Princeton, you go in and you have time to take some different kinds of courses before you officially declare your major. Engineering majors
That's
declare,
interesting.
yeah, engineering majors declare their majors earlier, but the bachelors of arts students have more time to decide what to concentrate in.
That's so great because you can just try out different classes and then see what works for you and
Mm-hmm.
what not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Since you are just so much into tech since such an early age, like what's something that excites you the most about the future of technology? Like technology is just evolving at such a high pace, like there's AI and everything. So what is something that's like excites you about the future of technology?
Yeah, so generally, I'd say that one thing that excites me is okay, what people are going to come up with next. Because when it comes to technology, one thing, one invention sparked another invention, and then from that, something new came up. And I keep just thinking, what's next people can come up with? Because if you think about it, you can basically build anything that you want. Even if it's not technologically possible now, there's a good chance that it's going to be possible in the future. So yeah, I'm just excited to see how people are gonna keep pushing the limits of what technology is capable of right now.
Yeah. In long term, what kind of impact do you want to create?
Wait, could you repeat the question?
In the long term, what kind of impact do you want to create?
I would say that I want to use technology in a way that benefits the public sector and the people whose lives can be significantly improved by technology.
Hmm. That's such a great initiative, Joe.
Thank you.
Hmm. Um, uh, was there a moment in your life when you genuinely like question yourself, and if yes, like how did you overcome that?
So, I question myself probably pretty often, and it usually happens when I am tired of doing something. So when you're coding constantly or building projects that are like weeks long, you sometimes get bored with it and you start questioning like, oh, do I really want to do this long term or not? Or what else could I be doing right now?
True. So, do you also like compare yourself to others in like similar spaces like you?
I wouldn't necessarily call it comparing. I would call it more learning from other people. And even if
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to comparing, I always compare myself like positively to others. Like what can I take from this person that would make me like a better individual or a better professional?
You know what? That's such a great thing to have. Like, even I just, try, taking up just good things from each and every single person around me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
just helps you be a better person after all.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
how do you, how do you deal with the pressure of being so high achieving? Like, people do, like have the expectations around you. So, how do you deal with all of that?
So I would say that I don't really feel the pressure because deep inside myself, I realized that I'm a 17-year-old kid and I have like no obligation to do all of this. And I'm doing the things that I'm doing just because I enjoy it. And um, yeah, I don't really feel pressured. I I really love the things that I'm doing.
That's nice. Um, Outside of all the achievements that you have, who is Ruzanna as a person?
So as a person, I would say that I am a pretty introspective person and a very curious person, and I like to do
Yeah.
things out of love, and I like to stick to things and activities that have a good mission and can make a positive impact in my or other people's lives.
Yeah. You just seem like such a kind and like a very sweet person.
Thank you, you as well.
Thanks. What is that something that you're just still figuring out right now? Like there must be a lot of things, but like what's something on top of your head? Like something that you're just like figuring out in the process.
Mhm. So throughout past year, I've been engaged with a lot of short-term projects, like hackathons,
Mm-hmm.
competitions, or like stuff that I randomly decide to design, or speeches or interviews I decide to give. But one thing that I'm still thinking about is what is one thing that I would want to put a lot of my time and efforts on doing long term. So is there maybe like a big invention I want to try focus on? Maybe I want to found a startup or join a research or something really long term that will take years.
What keeps you so grounded despite just everything that you're doing right now?
I would say that I'm in a I would say that my love for the things I do really keeps me grounded because if I wasn't passionate about it, I probably wouldn't be doing all of this. And also, I am really blessed to be in a very supportive environment. Like, my family is very supportive, so that keeps me grounded. And my community is also very kind. And all of those different factors really help me stay grounded in everything that I do.
Okay, so let's say if everything that you've just built so far disappeared, like what part of you, like, would you like to just remain? And I don't know, like, do you get the question?
Right? Could you repeat it?
Um, if everything that you've built till now so far, it all
Mm-hmm.
just disappeared, like, what part of you would love to, like, still remain, like, still be there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I am not a materialistic person, and I would say that one thing that I would really want to keep is my memories and the knowledge that I have, because no matter where I end up, if I'm like the same person, I think I could start over and build everything from scratch. I know it would probably be very hard, but I don't think that it would be like impossible.
Mhm. What is that one thing that people assume about you that is completely wrong?
I would say that a lot of people assume that I am a shy person, but I personally don't consider myself shy, and I try to put more effort into socializing more with everyone, like no one, no matter like where I'm at, whether it's like school or a more professional setting or just like outside.
What's your most chaotic moment where while working on a project or in high school?
Hmm. Yeah,
Are
so
you like a
I would
chaotic
say,
person or not?
hmm?
Are you a chaotic person or like no?
It depends. If I have a lot of time, I would say that I am pretty organized. But if
Mhm.
there's a close deadline or I know that, oh, I definitely don't have enough time, then things can get like pretty chaotic.
And like, can you just remember one moment and while working on a project or something like that? Like, what was like
Mhm.
the most chaotic moment if you remember?
Yeah, so my best friend and I were at a competition in San Francisco, and we were building this robot which can basically play tag with people. And so the deadline was like pretty close, like a few hours left. And when we realized that we don't have like an important hardware component, and I just kind of panicked. I started like asking people around to see if anyone had it. And then we found like a version of it, but it wasn't exactly what we needed. So we just put it in anyway, and then it messed up the whole project. So yeah, it was pretty chaotic, but I think it was a good learning experience.
Yeah, true. Either you are like winning at something or either you are just learning something. I guess there's just no failures. Like, you just tend to learn so much from my failures than there's something you're winning at. Like, that's
Hmm.
my personal opinion. But yeah.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
what is like a small winning moment or like a small win that just means a lot to you?
Yeah, so probably as a person engaged in a lot of different activities all day, it's really important to me to also stay on top of my physical and mental health. And some small wins that I like to celebrate is eating healthy 4 meals every day, or working out every day or every other day when I don't get the chance.
Good.
Or, yeah, spending time to take care of myself, like physically and mentally. Those are like my favorite small wins.
Yeah, and that's just so important. Like, we just tend to ignore that and like keep it the last priority, eating and everything. So
Hmm.
it's so important to just take care of our body,
Yeah,
physically and mentally both.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Um, before we wrap up, what does being a part of this Ivy League series on She Leads to mean to you?
Um, it means to me that I'm just like very grateful to be a part of a community of driven students who are passionate about doing a lot of great things. And I'm really, yeah, blessed to be a part of it, I'd say.
Now that you know you'll be going to college in August, and we are recording it in July, we can
Mhm.
just say out like how do you expect yourself in like after graduation, like what sort of person do you think you'll become? So you can just put it out and you just come to it years after and then see, ki, oh yeah, like this is what I thought I would do and this is what I've done. So like what's that? You can just a message to yourself or something.
Like high school graduation or college?
No, college graduation. High school, they are
Oh.
graduating in a few weeks. College graduation. Like before college and after college.
Hmm. Yeah, I would say that after I graduate from college, I want to be a more educated person, both socially and within my academic field of interest, which is like computer science at the moment. And I also want to be someone um, who is also like a part of a very like nice and supportive community as well, and with a vision in mind of I want to be continuing in the future.
Yeah. Any personality traits you would want to like grab or have during the college?
Mm, I would say probably being more disciplined. Like there can be like
Hmm.
never too much discipline. So
Yeah. True. Now just advice for young female women just starting off, like filling off their college application forms and deciding which college they want to go to. Like any advice for them?
so probably um, try to figure out what environment you want to be in and do research on the college. Really do research on the colleges that you're trying to apply to. And also, if you are aiming for Ivy League schools, um, yeah, of course apply to them, but also take into account that there are also a lot of great schools that are like non-Ivy that can offer a lot of amazing opportunities. Because ultimately, what matters the most the is how you take advantage of the opportunities then that the school provides than like the actual name of the school, if it makes sense.
Yeah. Um, Thank you so much, Rosanna, for like sharing your journey so openly and sharing your thoughts and experiences. I think what really stands out from this conversation that I had with you is that you just don't have to wait for the right time or the perfect opportunity, and you can just start wherever you are, build as you go, and just create your own path. And to everyone listening, your journey starts at the moment where you decide to take the first step. And first step is usually the most difficult step. This is just the beginning of the series, and I'm just so excited. Thank you so much, Rosanna, for your time. It was great having you here with us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me as well. It was a pleasure, definitely.